Welcome everyone, I'm Tracey Bailey, the founder of Biome. We're making this regular video blog to share lots of tips and tools to help you be a more informed and conscious consumer so that you can live more gently on the planet and live with less waste and less toxins. Knowing that we are making a difference every day, no matter how small, is incredibly empowering. I know that for me personally, it helps me feel more in control of the world that I want around me, and it brings me deep happiness knowing that I am part of the solution to the world's environmental problems instead of contributing to them. Learning to live in ways that are more in tune with nature's ways also make you more healthy because you're avoiding the harmful synthetic chemicals and plastics that have really pervaded our consumer choices. One of the questions that we get asked most about at Biome is about deodorant. So today I'm going to talk to you about deodorants, what actually causes body odour, how natural deodorants work, and then run through some of the amazing natural deodorant choices that we have at Biome. Body odour is of course something that we are all quite sensitive about. So I thought it would be helpful to start with why do we actually smell? Did you know that we have billions of bacteria living on our skin? It's quite a gruesome thought, but actually that bacteria plays a very vital role in forming our skin's protective layer against pathogens and fungi that might grow if it wasn't for that bacteria. The skin is actually a very difficult place for bacteria to live. It's dry like the desert, it's slightly salty from our perspiration, and it's also slightly acidic. But some bacteria do well in certain places that are very conducive to them growing, such as under our arms. Now, our bodies sweat to dispel toxins from our system and also to help cool us down. And when this sweat comes to the surface, the bacteria actually start to feed on that sweat. Again, another gruesome thought, but when the bacteria feed on the sweat, they then produce gas, and it's that gas coming off that causes the bad smell that we know as BO or body odour. So how do deodorants and antiperspirants then work? Firstly, they stop the sweat. They block the sweat ducts so that the sweat doesn't come to the surface and you don't feel or see the wet patches under your arms. And secondly, they try to kill off the bacteria so that there's less bacteria there to eat the sweat, like I mentioned they do earlier. As you can imagine then, antiperspirants blocking your sweat ducts is not really a very good thing to be going on because it's interfering with your body's natural detoxing processes. Most commonly they contain aluminium as the active ingredient to stop the sweat. And interestingly, it's actually the aluminium salts that cause that yellow stain that we often see under the arms on our clothes. They also contain other harmful synthetic chemicals, antibacterial agents basically, such as tricolosan and parabens, whose role it is to kill off the bacteria. But they are, again, very harmful chemicals to be spreading on our bodies. And of course, deodorants contain fake synthetic perfumes. Of course, all of this concoction is being rubbed under your arms and absorbed into your body. And it has actually been shown that synthetic deodorants radically mess with the natural microbiome of bacteria under your arms, which causes its own problems. Okay, so how do natural deodorants work then? Well, firstly, they contain something that helps to absorb the wetness once it comes to the surface. So they don't block the sweat ducts and stop the sweat in the first place. The sweat still comes to the surface, and then they usually have something like arrowroot, cornstarch or a clay that helps to absorb that wetness. Secondly, they have something like bicarb soda or sodium bicarbonate, some other form of alkaline mineral salt such as magnesium, or something quite acidic like a lemon or lime juice. So on your skin, your ideal skin mantle is quite a neutral pH, or mildly acidic or mildly alkaline, but generally in that neutral range. And that's what the bacteria love. That's how they love to live. So the way that natural deodorants work is to introduce something that's quite alkaline or acidic, that disrupts that environment that the bacteria really love, and it helps to control the bacteria. Now, thirdly, they contain something that helps that all stick to your skin, because if you were just putting the bicarb under your arms, as soon as you sweat, it would just wash off. So it needs something like a wax, either a beeswax or a candelilla wax for a vegan version, or a coconut oil, and that's what helps the deodorant to stay under your arms. And most importantly, it still lets your skin breathe. It doesn't create an impermeable layer. So what are some of the options that you have for natural deodorant? Firstly, I'm going to mention the one that we find most people or most Biome customers report that works for them, and that's black chicken axilla deodorant. So here's what the black chicken looks like. It is actually in a plastic pot. It's a paste, so you dip your fingers in and rub it between your fingers to soften it, and then wipe that under your arms. Black chicken is based on bicarb, and I thought I would just mention here something about bicarb and why some people experience an irritation to bicarb. It's not actually an allergic reaction, it is an irritation, because bicarb is highly alkaline and your skin is slightly acidic generally. So you would be aware of what happens when you mix vinegar and bicarb soda together. You see all that fizzing going on in a chemical reaction. Well, effectively that's what is happening under your arms when you put the alkaline bicarb into the slightly acidic environment. If you do develop that irritation, then you need to switch to using a deodorant for a little while that doesn't have any bicarb. And black chicken now does offer a bicarb free, but there are other choices. I personally find I only need to switch back to the one without bicarb for a week, and then I can go back onto black chicken, which I personally do find the best for me. I really love it. So the second option is that you make your own. As you might be aware, Biome is absolutely behind people making their own skincare and cleaning products. We truly see this as the best way that you can live with less waste and less toxins is if you are making your own from very basic ingredients. And in the notes down below this video, we have a link to the places on the Biome website where you can find recipes for making your own deodorant. All sorts of options, from deodorant paste to a liquid roll-on and even a push-up stick that you can make for yourself. Those natural deodorants, the ingredients when you're making your own, just like I talked about earlier in the video, it's going to be bicarb soda, some clay or arrowroot, and then a coconut oil or a wax to hold it all together, and then of course your choice of essential oils depending on what fragrance that you're looking for. If you would like a ready-made deodorant that's not packaged in plastic, we do have an option here from pH Fresh. This is in a glass jar. It does have a plastic lid, but it's a paste that's quite similar to the black chicken, and it is in a glass jar. We also have another very amazing product that we're super excited about in completely plastic-free packaging, and it's called Biome, and it is a salt crystal in, can you believe it, cork packaging. The last option that I have for you for deodorants, and this is super DIY and very simple should you ever find yourself perhaps having gone away and forgotten your deodorant, and incredibly that is literally just some pieces of lemon or lime and as you all know, citrus is acidic, and you can just rub this under your arm and it creates an acidic environment under your arm that the bacteria don't like. I tried this myself a number of times and it's quite unbelievable. I just didn't smell. I think I used it for about a week with no smell at all. I did, however, then develop an irritation. I think it's just too harsh to be rubbing that acid straight onto your skin, but you could certainly play around with putting some of that juice in with coconut oil to dilute it a little and just rubbing that under your skin. Well, I hope this video has given you a much better idea about how natural deodorants work. We truly believe that if you really understand what is going on with your body's processes and then how a product actually works, you can then become a much more informed consumer and then make some choices that suit your values and the way that you want to live your life. But all the while that we're just glossing over the way that things really work and what's contained in them, then really we're just going through life a little bit blindfolded and not truly empowered in trying to make a difference to our lives and also to the planet. So if you've liked what you've seen today, please like this video. Of course, we'd also love you to share it on any of your social media, and you can also subscribe to our videos. As I mentioned at the beginning, we'll be doing a regular video blog, and we'd love to have you drop in and watch those videos when you have time in your busy life. Thank you so much.